And we are live, and hopefully it's going to work. The first live coverage of MRF's DTM series. And that's the first time I'm doing anything like this, so bear with me. I'm probably going to say a lot of stupid shit, but it is what it is. And we are on the way with Jürgen, in his pink car, doing his first laps in this free practice session. And we also have Gudu out on the track right here. And we're potentially waiting for a couple more drivers. So we'll see what we'll be in for this round. Previous two rounds has been quite exciting. There's been a lot of wheel-to-wheel battles, good racing, as Gudu pays a visit to the gravel, probably thinking he's in one of our rallies over at RRA, despite not driving in any rallies. But it seems like he feels the pull of the gravel and would like to spend some time on the gravel trap as Jan comes out of the pits. And if I remember correctly, he's the current championship leader. And they already make contact despite it being free practice. I have no idea what Gudu is doing, but currently he's committing some on-track terrorism. Yeah, that was to be expected. I saw that coming. And there's probably gonna be an angry Jan after this, as Mark is coming out of the pits. And we'll have a look at Jürgen as he starts pushing on the straight. It's a very interesting track, this Mondello Park. I've never drove on it myself. It seems to be a fairly short piece of tarmac. And currently David is the fastest. However, it's still practice, so it bears no meaning really. We'll see if he'll be able to keep this up for the qualification and then throughout the race. It's currently 4 drivers out on track, namely David, Gudu, Mark and Jura, to whom I will refer as Susie from time to time for driving Susie Wolf's pink car. So just so you know, he'll be referred as Susie Pumpkin ever so often as we're on board with David. Who is currently on 47.7 in his lap time. Jura is 3/10 behind Mark 7, Gudu of 6 seconds, but he's yet to complete a proper lap. And Jan is currently chilling in the pits. And that's one more driver on the way, and we're waiting for one more, so it seems like we're going to have a grid of 7 drivers for this race. is kind of the usual amount of people on this. Hopefully, throughout the season and as this series will continue, we'll see more people giving this a try. Seems to be fairly interesting. And Miss XYZ is here as Young is coming out for some practice. Stopped chilling after Gudu committed some terrorism on him. Let's jump on board with Gudu. Have a good look at what he's doing. Yeah, now that he actually completed a proper lap, only 1.8 seconds of David's best time. And David is doing, well, I don't know what. He's taking the esports line, it seems. Who's that? That's Miss XYZ. Into the final corner. And on to the start finish straight. And starting a fast lap. It seems like there's been a little drift into turn one. And pretty much everyone is chilling in the pits. I think that's also about the end of the practice, so we'll be moving over to the quali session soon. And Jan is currently 3/10 off. That puts him on 4th place as he finishes his lap by driving into the tire wall. And Yuda is on a lap and on a mission to possibly score a race win. I don't have the current standings in front of me, so I'm not able to look at that. And that's Miss XYZ, 0.9 seconds off the mark, which puts him, yeah, don't be fooled, that's him, on P5. And I think that's the practice session over, and the Mark is about to finish his lap. He's starting sector 3. That didn't sound healthy. That acceleration out of the corner. And I think that's the practice over. Yes, it is. And we're having a little look at the on-chat drama. See what that brings and how well that goes. and Andro made it. So that's 7 drivers on the grid today, just in time for quali. So we're about to see something interesting, hopefully. And yeah, I agree, David. Good luck, everyone. And we are here. And the quali session is about to start. And Jan will be the first to come out. And might also see some start practice as he gets closer to the red light. That's a nice train right behind him. I have no idea what Gudu is doing again. And Jan, Jürgen, and Gudu are already out. And that might actually end up pretty well for Jürgen if he can keep relatively close behind. And Gudu, my boy. Let's see what you have done. As you can see, Jürgen is warming the tires. He comes away, and that's just an absolutely mindless maneuver. Anyways, let's continue. And now we have 2 drivers with the initials LAT on track, which got me confused for a second. I was wondering why there is 2 of Jan. Now I remember that the second one is Andro. And Mark is having a massive ping, 480. My boy. Jürgen's looking good. Jan as well. Andro right behind him, who might actually catch some slipstream off of Jan. That's Mess XYZ. And currently Jan is in the lead on for pole position with a 48.135. As Jürgen takes the lead at 47.8. Mark is third. Mess is fourth. Andro is fifth. David sixth. And Gudu seventh. However, I'm fairly certain that the majority of the drivers is going to be within 1 second to each other. Or, well, 2 at most, as you can already see. And from this point, it should only get better as Mark climbs up to second place. As drivers already coming out for another lap or finishing their current fast laps. Mark is, well, I have no idea where, but it seems like his ping is definitely getting the better of him and me. because it's going to be hard to commentate on him if he keeps disappearing off the track and just random stuff like this happens. So let's switch over to Suzy Fomkin. Meanwhile, David takes the lead, and just by a bit more than 1/10 ahead of Jürgen. So the fireworks are already on. Let's have a look at our boy David, who's probably on a down lap, a cool down lap right now. And Jan is out on another lap. Well, they still have some time left. Of course, there is no back camera on this car for whatever reason. I think that's Jan right behind him, and he should keep up and steal some slipstream. That would certainly help him. And Jura also does the fastest lap with just 27,000th of a second ahead of David. So far, that means that my prediction is true, and somebody got kicked out of the session. Yeah, Mark, it seems like. He should be back. Hopefully, his ping is going to improve. And now Gudu seems to be teleporting all over the place. I need to check that. I have no idea what's going on here. Probably a bit of a lag spike. Yeah, it seems like it. Well, that's an interesting happening, especially since we don't really see this type of stuff with people sitting on the other side of the world. So Jan is currently coming out, who did a 47.6 and took the lead. So there's obviously quite a bit of back and forth between the drivers, especially on the top end. And that's Mark and Gudu out again. Hopefully they can make it back in time before the start of the race. As we can see, Jura and David, and Gudu is back. Jan in a not very comfortable lead, as both second place Jürgen and third place David is currently within 1/10 of a second to him. And then on a relative, it's quite a bit of a gap from P4 onwards. It's almost half a second to miss on P4, 1.2 seconds to Gudu on P5, and 1.6 seconds to Andro. And it seems like Jan is on a mission to improve his lap time. Gudu, my boy, is still disappearing. Meanwhile, we have my boy Ivan in the chat. Next time he should be sitting here with me and commentating on this. That would be fun. But yes, Ivan, you're right. I might have used up all the capacity of the internet in the country, which would explain why Gudu and Mark are having issues. And it seems like we'll be on for quite a bit of battle. The hell is Jan doing in the pit lane? Donuts, obviously. And David is still trying to steal some slipstream off, and he spins! That was very nice as he keeps the momentum and then just still pulls off the track and back to the pits, which leaves Jura alone out on track. And that's the quali over. And there is no laps, Andro. This is for time, so 40 minutes race as the guys explain. And hopefully everyone will remember to put enough fuel in the car for the race. So we have Jan in pole position, Jürgen in second, David in third, Mark in fourth, Miss in fifth, Gudu sixth, and Andro in seventh place. Well, thank you very much for the information, Jan. Now people can see it where you're off to now that the quali is over. Yes, Ivan, that's actually was an offer, Ivan, to co-commentate. So if you're up for it, we can give it a try next week. We'll obviously discuss the details in private. Yeah, I agree. It's from the Book of Excuses. Quite possibly. So the host is good most of the time and for most of the people. Yeah, so for most of the people it's good, and it's little you can do it with for people with shitty internet connections. So we'll be just in for some warm-up before the race actually starts. And the game is producing some interesting phenomena for me right now. I might actually have to restart before we're bowling, which I'm going to do right now because it clearly doesn't work as intended. So let's try this again before the race starts. Right, we've got the server. Right, so we're back in just in time. And it's clearly nearing to its end. Nobody actually knows what Jan was doing there. So that's everyone back to the pits. 30 seconds before the end of the warm-up. So that's 40 minutes. Jan is obviously talking about a rooster and the chat. So yeah, good luck everyone before we're starting. And here we are, and my game crashed. Absolute top. So let's see if I can make it back, otherwise this is gonna be a pretty short one. So probably not gonna happen. I simply won't have the time. Yep, current session closed. Well, that's a problem now. So, well, I guess that's as far as it goes. Sorry, guys. Yeah, exactly. That's a thinking Ivan moment. But that's only so much I can do about it. At least this one is good for a test, so I know what to fix for the next time. Because I think a lot of the issues are just down how it's set up, as it's not the way as it usually is. Because I didn't have time before the race, which I'm obviously going to fix for the next one. The next one is going to be next week at the same time. And by then I'll deal with all the technical issues in regards of this. You mean a slight issue for you? Oh, well, I can imagine you're probably off on some sort of rally. Anyways, I'm going to stop this now because I can't get back in the race. And yeah, that was expected. Well then, we can co-commentate the one after. So for now, I'm going to stop the stream because I can't get back. Fucking game crash. Anyways, see you at that next one. Hopefully that's going to go better.